Good morning, students. So I decided as part of your social distancing education, I'm going to do a vlog and a YouTube channel. That way you can kind of stay up to date on the changes and things we're doing in the field, the greenhouse, the farm. So the way that looks is you're basically going to subscribe to the channel and then watch it. This is CTE Agriculture Education, so almost everything relates to agriculture in some way. Different parts obviously will relate better to your class than others, so pay attention for the parts that apply to you in the class that you are in. And when you see something that I'm doing that applies to your class, I'll probably drop some pretty heavy hints. Oh yeah, plant and soil, take a look, or oh yeah, floriculture, take a look at this. But make sure that you watch through and that you can comment on that and say, oh yeah, that's mine, or oh yeah, that makes sense, or oh yeah, I remember that from plant and soil. Oh yeah, that looks like landscaping. Yeah, so just feel free to be interactive with me on it. Connect through it, comment on it. The way that will basically take the place of attendance for us. So I'll do at least one video a week, and if you subscribe, make a comment, then you get full participation and attendance for that week, and we'll go from there. All right. Okay, these are some of our seeds, just some of them I might add. I was planning on having about 120 to 200 students help me plant all of them. Looks like I will be doing most of this on my own. Regardless of when we come back, this is the time of year that we get to plant stuff. Some things do better by direct seeding them, such as squash. You can start squash in the greenhouse and then, hope it grows and then transplant it. But my experience with squash is if you start it in the field, it will surpass anything that you started in the greenhouse and transplanted. Corn's another one that we can just plant straight out. This is Country Gentleman corn. Should be really nice corn. Heirloom corn, sprouts in 7 to 10 days. Anyway, you get the idea. We've got, I don't know, 50,000 seeds here. And looks like as of now, one person to plant half an acre field. Okay, welcome to our growing greenhouse. Ooh, floriculture, look at these roses. You can just see the supple on those just getting ready to burst. Got roses coming in left and right. Hibiscus flowers are in bloom finally again. Passion flower, took 2 years to do this. That's kind of a neat thing when we talk about biannuals and the amount of time it takes for some of these to actually flower. Been waiting 2 years for that one. Conda lilies are taking off. In terms of plant and soil, lots of heirloom tomatoes here that are started. Got Mortgage Lifter, Black Beauty tomatoes, pineapple tomatoes, Brad's Atomic Grape tomatoes. Those will be fun. I usually double seed everything, so if you look at this set of 48, there's probably closer to 100. Then we get to this situation to where we separate them, single them out, plant them like this, and then we get to here, to there, to there, and then we go into the field with them. There was a frost this morning, so not quite ready to plant out the warm weather crops. Dill's getting quite tall. Sunflower, artichoke could go out pretty soon. Tangerine tree is flowering. Amazing floral smell on this. Love that plant. Even the beans and the nasturtiums, you can see, are already this high. Nasturtiums are in flower. This is a great plant to eat. Beautiful edible flower. Antifungal, antibacterial, super healthy for you, worth eating. Some sweet peas. Done a couple of additions to the aquaponics. We've got both tubs working right now. That doubles the oxygen. I put a float in the middle. That's one way that they really do commercialize aquaponics. They have giant pipes with water flowing through. The key on that is to have good water flow. So as you can see, it's basically hanging on each side to where a fish could go through there. where water can flow free through that area. Ag biology. If you guys remember getting this from the field from the rootstock, but it's a pretty crazy thing, right? Like you got, what? Where are the roots? How is this thing alive? Well, the answer is that this is part of rootstock. So this giant piece of wood here is actually part of a root. So that's where your xylem and phloem are able to go. You got your xylem from the root system coming up. But this big piece of wood is actually a big giant root. Even though it doesn't look like a traditional root, it's able to act like a root. And now we have an apple tree. Pretty neat there. Strawberries are growing. Fish are doing quite well. Water's clear as can be. Haven't fed them a whole lot, so the goldfish are doing their job and eating the algae off the edges. Strawberries over here. Poinsettia up top. Cypress orchids doing well. Succulents, you can see some of these just starting to really colonize and regrow. That's kind of fun. Our zucchini's coming up. Pepper plants. So yeah, there's lots to be done in here. Lots to go out to the field. Could use the help, but we'll take it as it is. I'll plan it out myself as I need to. Oh, here's another good one. You can see the lion's mane mushrooms growing back again. Finally got humid enough in there. Got a few good lion's mane started. Nothing on the root yet for the roses. Ooh, almost, yep, starting to root. You can see it. Nope. Cucumbers. They're getting ready to take off and start climbing. That's good news. Now here's a good one for ag biology. Got some bean plants. Dragon tongue bush beans. Talked a little bit about plants lately, but this is a good example of a determinate plant. Being a bush bean, it's not one that's going to vine like this. So it's one of those that you want to be smart about, because if you plant it in a trellis or in place to vine and it only grows 1.5 feet to 2 feet, you look like an idiot because you planted a bush bean in a place that was designed to climb. And we try not to do that. Big rainbow tomato, can't wait to eat that thing. Another thing for plants, you can see right here the cotyledons here, the cotyledons. And you can see the first true leaves coming up. That's one neat thing when we start seeding plants, is that you can tell right away, wow, there's 2 of them, so that's a dicot. Same with these, look, even smaller. 2 seed leaves. That means it is a dicot. And what's even more neat is if you pull it, you will be able to see another attribute of the dicot is, wow, look at that. One giant taproot. And that's another dead giveaway that we are looking at a dicot. Okay, let's check out the farm. Fed the ruminant animals first. It's usually a good idea. They kind of settle down, don't get in your way as you're feeding other animals, checking for other animals. See how our chickens are doing. Huh. So a couple things I did put a couple nesting boxes in. Cleared all the eggs out yesterday. You can see they've got water. Oh. Here's our chickens. Leghorns, how are you guys doing? Oh. And yep, nesting box works great. cleared it out yesterday and they've already got at least 2. Let's see how many we got. Yep, 2 eggs today, that's good. Another thing with the pandemic that's really interesting, I went to Tractor Supply and people are hoarding chickens. They go in there and they'll go buy 100 chicks out. Looks like people are trying to prepare for an apocalypse that's not quite happening. So that will work in our favor in about 2 or 3 months when city dwellers realize that having 100 chickens on their quarter-acre lot in town might not be a good idea. I'm sure we'll be able to get them for free or next to nothing and put them in a coop like this where they have a proper chicken run, and we'll do much better up here than in someone's backyard. So that will be exciting and good. But as for now, we're getting about 4 to 8 eggs a day depending on the hens. So as you can see, they're starting to lay in their boxes. I'd like to make a better roosting hutch for them in nesting box area. This is one of the cooler things. Hi, Mama Goat. How you doing? Can I hold your baby? Can I hold your baby? Can I hold the baby? Like I said, about a 5-month gestation period. It's about 4 or 5 days old now. But cute little sucker, huh? Yeah, you are. Baby goats are fun, man. They are fun. Just like little puppies. Then you're gonna start causing trouble and just walking around destroying everything. That's kind of what you do, right? You walk around and you eat all the trees, eat all the grass, try to escape anything that I build, huh? That's kind of your lot in life. Become an escape artist and seek and destroy every plant in the area. But yeah, cute little things for sure. 5 days old now, I think. So 5-month gestation period. Started about, I would guess November sometime. Okay, Mama, you want your baby back? Yeah, here's your baby. There's your baby. There's your kid. Nice kid. Always liked that kid. Did you get that, Isaac? What other puns can we say? Here's one way to bring kids back to school during the pandemic. What else? Anyway, I'll think on that one. Lots and lots of hay here. Overfed them today, but they seem much more calm. Shelby's less likely to kick people, but a little bit of a hog. She is. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, you're a little bit of a hog, aren't you? It's all your hay, huh? Yeah. Chase the goats off. Why you gotta be like that? I hear you. I don't know how you guys live with her. I don't know how you live with her. I hear you. Goats, llamas, doing pretty well. Baby llama still doesn't like to be held. But all in all, all's well here at the farm. We talked a little bit about waste management. This is all llama crap. Good thing about llamas is they crap in the same place and urinate in the same place every single time. Makes it really easy to clean up. Bad case is that they urinate and pee and crap in the same time, so this place can become somewhat toxic, but they are ruminants, so it's not the worst and most, it's not as prone to disease as like a monogastric or like pig crap, but we will have to start moving this pile of crap. You see the difference. If they were to scatter it throughout, it wouldn't even be a problem. It would just decompose, but because they like to do it in the same place every time, it becomes something we have to deal with. And given that this whole epidemic we're going through and pandemic is based off a zoonotic illness, it's good to be aware of our waste management and things that cause animal illness. So waste is one of them. The other one's water, so we always want to check the water. Water is really pretty clean here. We've got great water up here. They are just filled it yesterday, so a little bit of sand in the bottom, but no algae, nothing stagnant, nothing that would look to be causing any illness to the animals. So that's a good thing for animal science. Okay, bye animals. Have a good day. Yeah, I don't know when the students are coming back. Soon. I don't know. Okay, you can see some differences in our field. That big green strip in the middle, that's our brassicas, our cole crops. We're about ready to put away the hoops. The far right green patch is going to be driveway of sorts. Yeah, but you can see we're getting ready to do the bean trellis. You guys haven't seen one in full operation, but this year we've got water system, drip line, all the things to make it. I've got the posts in. I'll be spending the afternoon landscape, hint, landscape. I'm going to be spending the afternoon putting those in. So the first thing we got to do with that is range it from the last post, make sure that they're all in a nice straight line to where they not only look nice, but will actually be even more functional. So I'll get that sorted out today, and hopefully all those set to where we can start planting. Beans are something we could probably start here this week, allow them to germinate with nature, and they'll take off along that bean trellis, and by the time fall rolls around, they'll be 8 to 10 feet tall, wrapping over. It'll just be a huge tunnel of beans. You can see the soil's been tilled, got rid of the weeds. Plant and soil, we were talking about what to do with weeds. You can weed some of them. The problem when you till is that usually you will create more weeds, but if you can stay on top of them, it will be much easier than trying to weed it to start, and the soil is a lot softer. Bad thing with tilling, you do kill some of the worms, you really disrupt a lot of the microorganisms, but it adds a lot of air, a lot of aeration to the soil, makes the soil softer to where roots can grow much easier and faster. So lots going on in here. We're going to do a barrier around the outside, do some red onions all along the perimeter. Onions, garlic tend to keep insects away. And if you've probably never seen an earwig chewing on an onion because they don't like onions. Lots of our garden pests don't like that, so if we do an entire perimeter of onions and garlic, that will help keep a lot of the insects and non-beneficial insects away from our crops. So going to be working on this. Lots of applications for landscape, for plant and soil, for ag biology. When we look at the soil as a living thing, what we've done, how we've stirred it up, look at the microorganisms we got in there that we've disrupted. Hopefully they come back quickly. And then also, looking at ag biology, we're planting pole beans, all kinds of different heirloom beans down this strip here. Beans are a legume, so hopefully someone can tell me something about that and why that's important and what that does for our soil. Another thing we're going to do in here is a lot of companion planting. I showed you some of that country gentleman corn. That's going to go well with beans and squash. We'll do some of the Three Sisters Native American planting method. We have a lot of squash to plant. We have some that's even started already. So we'll do squash, beans, and corn in one furrow. We'll have a couple furrows of greens, lettuce, spinaches, Swiss chard, and like again I said, a lot of our kales and brassicas where the hoops are right now. So one of my favorite times of year to be in agriculture, but don't have a whole lot of students to help with it. We'll still get it planted, still get it out, have it ready for you whenever it is you guys come back, and we'll pick up from there. All right, let's take a look at these goofballs. You guys hungry? You guys are filthy, huh? Not completely sure what to do with these guys. They don't really fit at the farm up with all the ruminant animals. They are pretty filthy. You can see their crap piles are in the corners. At least they're that organized. They've kind of made themselves a little dry area to sleep and shelter where there's no rain. The rest of it's pretty wet. You don't want to spread any toxin or ringworm or any diseases through their monogastric digestive system, animal science. So yeah, we'll figure out what to do with them. I guess worst case scenario, they're good food storage. Goose is looking a little skinny. Doesn't look super healthy. What's going on with Goose? Goose, what's going on? You just getting longer? Oh, you still got some fat on you. You're okay. You guys are all right. Dump some water. Yeah, getting the Scobie duck here in the morning. Here they come. Yeah, these guys are alright. There's an African goose. Nice goose. Pretty nice goose. Fairly friendly to humans. These are all super domesticated. Got the Tony's goose right there. The Scobie ducks. You can see the mallard. We got a khaki duck. Khaki mix looks like. Female mallard, male mallard. They're all doing well. Pigs look much happier. They got food and water. We'll call them good for now. Okay. As expected, Shelby's being a brat. Eating all the food for herself, and she is the biggest animal, so that's fine. But I went and got some food storage. Some oats, some carrots, made some chicken scratch. But this should keep Shelby busy too. Let's see if she likes it. Let's see what they think of that. Oh yeah, they like the concentrate. So that's, we talk about grains and Shelby, why you gotta be a brat? You want some deli? You can have some. Look, here you go. Likes it? Ow, that's my finger. Oh, goats. Goats like it. Goats. Yeah, concentrates, they love it. But that's for the chickens, guys. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you guys like your concentrates. Jeez. Sick of alfalfa, huh? It's good alfalfa hay. Up to 3 on the day. Yeah, it's a good kid. You can still see the umbilical cord drying off on it. Okay, so I've got a 6x6 2-inch pot ready to go to plant. We're gonna start some red Russian kale. Some of it didn't make it through the harsh winter, and even the ones that did are going to go to bolt and seed pretty fast. It is a cold crop, so kind of an odd time to be planting it, but it will do well into June, July, sometimes even into August or September if we take care of it. But general rule for seeding is smaller the seed, more shallow you actually seed it and start it. So you can see how small these seeds are. If you were to plant them 1/2 inch deep, they may not ever germinate and come apart, so come up. So I like to go through. You might be able to see some that are in there, really tiny, and then you can basically just cover them, kind of broadcast over the top of them, and then pat them down well and water them, and they should start and sprout fairly quickly, 7 to 10 days I would expect. and they'll be ready for the field within 2 to 3 weeks, depending on weather and if I can catch up on it. So yeah, starting seeds this time of year, as you can see, we're starting all kinds. Most of our warm weather crops, but I do want some different varieties of kale. I also have the dinosaur kale started here. Did that, and always important to mark what it is, what day we did it, so we can kind of tell when it should be germinating. Also, we know right about when we'll be able to harvest it. So good things to do and know as we go about seed starting. You can see here we're top dressing the cucumbers. Haven't done a lot to amend the soil. They seem to be growing okay. Yeah, just putting a layer of manure on top that will help keep the weeds down. There's some watercress that's acting like a weed. But this should, if you remember, we put about 5,000 earthworms in here, so they'll work together with the manure and it will become perfect soil for them to grow in and continue to grow in, and then climb on this trellis and create a big tunnel of cucumbers. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at with agriculture right now. Lots going on everywhere. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel to get your attendance points. Make sure you like it if you want extra credit. You know what I mean? And yeah, check in, feel free to comment, socialize on Google Classroom, and make comments on the YouTube channel if you want. My vlog. Have a great day. Enjoy your social distancing.